got Metal Gear.
Watching swoosh right in! Swoosh!
You see, SpongeBob, me boy, I'm mining Bitcoin.
And now, the winner of this year's Egg Hunt, Charlie Drex.
I hate you. I think it's time for Jack to let her rip.
Anything within, like, what, 100, 150 pixels of me just gets annihilated. I spoke too soon.
Hot taters, eh? Hot taters, precious.
Talking about cyber demons. I'm not ready for cyber demons. I can barely handle trash mobs, okay? Well, that's taken care of. You motherfucker!
Can we have, like, team battle golf? Like a red team?
Is there team battle?
Red team, hole in one.
Wait, hold on. That was good, goddamn.
It's not scuffed.
Live from twitch.tv/CharlieDrex, this is the Charlie Drexperience. And here's your host, Charlie Drex. Hello, welcome, thank you everybody for showing up. Oh, you are too kind. Thank you so very much. No, really, thank you. Yes, cheer for Charlie. Charlie is a great man, and you must applaud him. He is going to be the best frickin' host you have ever seen. Alright, folks, we've got a good show lined up for you tonight, and by good show I mean I have a rough outline of what I need to do. We'll play this one by ear. It's gonna be kind of different from our usual sequence of events. So, I need to set up my hotkeys because I'm not very good at this, but we're going to tone down this music and we're going to go ahead and we're going to, I really need to hotkey this, but we're going to bring up my nice instrumental song. You may recognize this song, but hey, I made a down-tempo piano version of it. Something a little more atmospheric for the Charlie Drexperience. Alright, so, good evening, charlatans and other uncommuted viewers. My name is, as you probably already know, Charlie Drex, and I would like to welcome you all to the inaugural episode of the Charlie Drexperience. Obviously, tonight won't be as polished as it could be, because we're still getting on our feet, so please bear with us as we try to make this at least somewhat worth watching. Quality will, unfortunately, be a bit lackluster, I'm afraid, as I'm still trying to figure out what to do other than the interview. It might have been the rushed nature of this week's episode, but I can't really think of anything to discuss at length with everyone right now in terms of the just chatting Zatsu type content. One thing I will remark on since we're here, Offkai. That happened a couple weeks ago, or last week, whenever it was. No, it would have been last week because it was like right before 4th of July. So Charles Vessel, because you remember the Charlie lore. Charles Vessel, the human, lives in Southern California. He won't be any more specific than that. Not LA, we'll say that much. I do live a couple hours away from LA. But I only found out after the fact that it was happening. So I had the opportunity to go see Hololive in concert. And I didn't. Why am I sideways? There we go. And it's really frustrating because I could have gone, could have, should have, woulda. I had time off available, but nope. Just sat at home playing video games. Yeah, that was the weekend I debuted, so theoretically I debuted that Friday, and then Saturday, oh, what did I do? I forget what I did. But could have gone to Offkai, but no, Charlie's dumb. News at 10. I was thinking of maybe doing some sort of VTuber news gathering type thing. And then I realized I absolutely do not have the skill set nor the free time to do that. And besides, there's plenty of people who already do such things. You know, Hero Hey, Rev Says Desu, etc. The other thing I was thinking of was maybe shouting out opportunities for small VTubers. So I was like thinking, oh, I can tell you there's this agency that's opening up. There's this contest that's being run. There's this, you know, big collab opportunity for guitarist VTubers or something. But then I realized that I don't want to just shill out every indie startup corporation with a massive set of air quotes around the word. And those corporations have no real footprint. And they basically exist just to stick in your Twitter handle or whatever and give the veneer of being a real corpo VTuber trademark. Besides, most of this information is already handled by news channels and God knows how many servers with links and such besides, so I don't really see any particular reason to do it. So, instead, you get this rather dry and boring introductory segment, which probably isn't very much fun to watch, because no one enjoys watching housekeeping. Unless it's Power Wash Simulator, I guess, in which case you can easily average like 15 views streaming during prime time. Insofar as other news and stuff is concerned, make sure you check Steam today if you're itching for a particular game or something, because the sale ends tomorrow, or in about 18 hours or so, to be less geographically specific. Yes, sir. Anyways, without wasting any more of your time, I'll go ahead and introduce our guest. Lucky enough to be the first person to ever show up on the Charlie Drexperience. Unfortunate enough to be the person who has to endure the worst growing pains in terms of production value. But hey, you gotta give him credit for being the first one willing to step up when I put out my initial request for guests. It's the one, the only, Lagomofu. Welcome to the show, Lago. Appreciate you stopping by.
Hi, it's me.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
So, you are in a very, very interesting position here because you joined, or rather, you answered my call, and you were the first up. And it, like I said, I gotta give you props because nobody else is willing to step up and be the test subject. But I do want you to know, full awareness, you are kind of the guinea pig. So I don't mean this offensively at all, I hope. But look, I'm not trying to...
More of a rabbit, but...
True. I forgot. Rodents and lagomorphs are not, in fact, the same thing. I actually just found that... I guess that's been a thing for a decade or two now, but I just found that out a couple weeks ago, actually. It was like... I made a joke about how rabbits are basically rodents, and someone was like, oh, no, lagomorphs are actually not rodentia. I'm like, really? And then they linked it, and I was like, oh, damn. Okay, well, I'll take that as oops, I screwed up. All right, so.
Hey, man, I appreciate that.
Sipping tea, 1 second. There we go. So, Lago, who are you? What are you? What do you stream, and where can people find you on the interwebs?
Okay, I am Lagomofu. Most people call me Lago. The few people that call me anything call me Lago for the most part. I do weekly sort of themed poetry discussion and or art appreciation streams. Those are the two main things that I do with my channel, that I want to do with my channel. To date, I've also done some game streams, Bun House, which is just a game about being a bunny in a greenhouse. It was a lovely time. Momodora, Reverie Under the Moonlight, which is just a brilliant Metroidvania game, love it. And Muse Dash. I've also done a couple art streams, which I found really fun, just listening to music, doodling, talking to whoever happens to wander by. I am a Hotot bunny. I am an emotional support rabbit. Big fan of reading, philosophy, and other things like that. And you can find me on Twitch and pretty much everywhere else at Lagomofu, Lagomofu. But all of my links and such are also consolidated on a lagomofu.neocities.org. Big fan of NeoCities.
Let me go ahead and use the shout out. I don't have the shout out source.
Old books are difficult to read, but they didn't have so many distractions, mass communication, and a lot of drills interrupting. So absolutely.
I can hear the shout out, but I can't see the shout out. There it is.
I do.
How does it show a
Yeah,
thing?
because
Oh, no.
there's
Yeah.
Which one's this?
gosh, in the case of some contemporary like the most modern houses, it's
Oh,
literally built
I
into
uncovered by my
the
own face.
structure in which you live. That the house is demanding your attention. The house wants to entertain you. The house wants you to tune in and tune out. And flip those burgers, Ouija, and just enjoy the show. Like there's a wall. It's a screen built into
This
the
guy's got
wall
a point.
that algorithmically is going
He's
to
a smart
decide
rabbit.
which what content
Some
would
people have
draw
said
your
that
attention away from
he
whatever you're
doesn't
doing,
believe
so
it
that
himself.
they can steal your eyes, and your time, and play ads for you, and that's terrifying. But also really fucking cool that houses are like that sometimes now.
That is very interesting. You know, quick side note. Hey, here's
Yeah.
discussion topic. Actually,
Ooh.
in demon school, I actually had a class because I had to take some sort of humanities. But I had a class in architecture, or not architecture, but it was like, it was art. The class was art, but it was housing
Right.
art, or like
Ah.
the art of housing structure, whatever. Like it basically was like talking about how suburbs developed and the idea of like the model home and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's definitely, it's weird how that's just sort of its own topic where, I mean,
yeah.
you think about it, of course, you got the people with the fancy verandas and the spiral staircase and the like abstract wall art dividers and stuff.
Right.
But it's just weird to me how the house, it's, I guess Frank Lloyd Wright, houses absolutely can be art. So
Oh yeah, 100%. Houses can be and are art, but as with most other forms of art, it is undergoing a horrific commodification, in which not only the house is being commodified, but the beings that pay to live inside it. Sorry,
no,
I
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah, you know what I mean.
I see where you're going with that, but no, we can sort of leave this kind of neutral with like the whole idea of like the smart home, the idea of like
Right.
the home isn't just a place to live anymore. It's now become more than just a place where you sleep and have your food and stay safe. The house is like the world has begun intruding on the house, which is supposed to be a place of refuge.
Yeah.
Something like
people,
that. I don't know. I'm
People
just
pay extra for
pretending to
that.
be intelligent enough to keep up with this.
You're doing great. As far I couldn't tell. So you're pretending.
Much obliged. Flattery will get you everywhere. All right, well,
Thank God, that's all I got.
that is a fantastic segue, though, to my next question, or at least half of it. I wanted to ask, how long have you been doing streaming / content creation in general? So maybe even stuff like, I know you do art and stuff. So how long have you been into that? Because the other half, this is the segue. The second half of that question was, have you always had an artistic or creative background? Were you in a band? Did you major in, maybe not, talk about your college experience if you don't want to, but, did you, win an art contest as a kid or something like that? Just in general, have you been an artist / a content creator for a long time? And what experiences do you have?
Well, I think I've always been driven to create. When the first thing I could think of is when I was a kid, a little baby rabbit with my little baby rabbit fluffle mates. We would play Smash Brothers, right? We'd play Super Smash Brothers, and we made a little book with paper torn out of a 3-ring binder, where we drew all the stages and then wrote like descriptions of the stages, and we made a little guidebook for them. But I've always had kind of a creative bent, I guess, just driven to make things. Although like art, like making visual art, that's very relatively recent. Like I started in 2021, I think, learning to draw with a pencil, basically. Before that, I was a writer. I've done a lot of writing. I guess I've created a lot of content, you might say. I do have I have my writings floating out and about in the digital space, mostly poetry, and then some short fiction as well. Those were my main focuses. But very recently, I started streaming. My first stream was June 14th. was my birthday, and then 2 weeks later, basically I started was like, hey, what if I made a schedule and held myself to it? You know, what would happen? Because there's things I want to do and make and share, and no one else is going to hold me accountable to it. So I got to do it myself, I guess. Yeah.
And sometimes that really can provide the drive that it's easy enough to say, oh, I'm playing games anyway. Let me hit go live and just kind of do whatever. But when you have that schedule, even if it's just for yourself, even if there's, no one watching you or whatever, to have that semblance of order. Some people, oh, you're turning into a job, you're taking the fun out of it. But for me,
Yeah.
I've had the life experiences, we'll say, in my past human life where the idea of mandatory fun or mandated fun was a thing. Hey, you will have fun. It is your obligation to go have fun. So like I'm
Now
used
it's
to the
fun
idea
time.
of scheduling having fun. So while I do respect the people who kind of are more free-spirited and can get away with just kind of living life on by the seat of their pants, I've always been a really organized guy myself. So I do find that having that schedule, having a reason, a black and white at 5 p.m. I'm going to stream. You can't
Exactly.
argue with it. You have your obligations. If to no one else than yourself, because otherwise you're just lying,
Yeah.
and no one wants to be a liar.
Yeah, I'm someone I think in some ways very similar. I don't take my whims very seriously. The things that I want to do, I'm kind of like I want to do that, but what does that mean? But if I have an obligation, that's something I take super seriously. So even if there's only if the little red man has a 2 next to him instead of a 1, that's enough of an obligation for me to
Right.
show up. And also like it's what I want to do, right? So I mentioned the poetry discussion and the art appreciation. That's something that I've wanted to do for so long, and I want to do so badly. Um, Making the schedule and is a way of keeping myself to that. To make this even if I'm just shouting it into the void, like doing that is so important to me. Um, I needed to make a way for it to be an obligation for me to do it, even if it was only for myself, for my own sake.
I can definitely empathize because that's basically what the Charlie Drexperience is. I've always been, I don't want to say fantasized. I'm not, Joaquin Phoenix Joker imagining being like especially the bad parts, okay? But I'm not imagining, I'm going to be, a talk show host. I'm going to be the star. But just the idea of having discussion, like I've always loved cerebral discussions with people, and the idea
Yeah.
of doing it
Mhm.
and having other people find that discussion interesting because they watch it, that's just been appealing to me. So I figured, hey, why not announce in my debut stream the Charlie Drexperience is going to be a thing, because I really want to get as much mileage as I can out of the EX thing. Like, Drexperience, Drexperiment.
Right.
I'm going to Drexplode. But I will tell you, you trying to push Drexel, not going to be a thing. I'm sorry. No, sir.
I'll be the biggest Drexel there is.
We are charlatans, or rather, you are charlatans.
Please.
I'm Charlie. All right, actually,
All right. Charlie's not a charlatan, so you got to believe in yourself, man.
you gotta believe in the you that believes in yourself, or however it goes. I forget.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
I can go ahead. I'm gonna shuffle my questions because I can bring this one up.
Cool.
What are some of your goals? Anything concrete in terms of like numbers or metrics, or maybe dream events? So being in, like, here's my example, is being important enough to be booked for a meet and greet on Major Con. Like, oh, I'm, off Kai featuring Lagomofu or whatever. So the long term.
Right. So in the short term, I think when I started, just looking around at, I guess indie VTubers, people who are just starting out, what seemed insurmountable, like the peak, the pinnacle of what I wanted was to have a PNG and hit the go live button, because I was so shy, I was so scared, I was so sure that everyone was gonna hate me, and I was just gonna be a stupid little rabbit, make a fool of myself. Um, so did that, which is really cool. I I thought, okay, but what would be really cool is if I could go into my favorite streamers' chats and just spam my own face. So I was like, let me. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but maybe I can get affiliate. I don't care about monetization, anything like that. As a, I'm a very frugal rabbit. I don't need much to live. I don't need much money. So this is really just about um, exploring other aspects of content creation. And so affiliate was the next goal, and um, I just by being I suppose obnoxious on social media, being my little emotional support rabbit self, and running around and telling people how amazing they are. Enough people came by to check out this little guy that I did get affiliate after my my first week of streaming, which is super 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 lucky for me. Um, and as far as what I want to do now, make more emotes, spam my face in more places, and just keep, I think, developing the various ways I have of expressing myself. For one, so become actually a good artist. Uh, uh, I've been taking singing lessons, taking piano lessons, and the goal, long term, I think, is to have the develop the self confidence to share those things with people as well. And ultimately, I think everything that I want to do boils down to just expressing myself in a public place in the hopes that uh, I catch the eye of someone who can empathize and connect with me, and then we can hang out and have cool conversations. Um, and so for now, I guess the content that I have planned is really just keeping up these weekly poetry appreciation and poetry discussion and art appreciation streams. Um, and then when I have time, sprinkling some other things, just talking to people while drawing and things like that. Um, Long term, I think what I really really want deeply is to, after like developing these skills, I guess, is to be able to uplift other creative people, because I run around Twitch, Twitter, every social media you can think of, and I see just legions of amazing, creative, talented people that are not getting the recognition they deserve. And if someday I can develop myself enough so that enough people like me that I have a platform where I can uplift these other creatives that I see, you know, struggling to make it, that would be I don't know, a dream come true, I guess. That
Well, I can say I do applaud your selflessness. I don't mean that in the platitudinous way of, oh, you're such a great guy, but it does show in the community, the Discord that we're in. You're always one of those people that always has a good word for everybody, and just kind of, you don't need to, I don't want to say lie, but
mm,
play up someone. You can, someone can just saying, "Hey man, that was a good stream," or "Hey, that was really funny." Just like those little things can really brighten up someone's sense of self-esteem and really make them want to keep going. So I absolutely find nothing wrong at all with your goals and motivations. Not everybody wants to be the superstar idol on the stage or whatever. Some people just want to help people, and that makes you, in my opinion, a good person.
I really appreciate that. I think in relation to the person that wants to be an idol, what I want to do is to see people who want to be the idol, and I want to be I want to be the guy that knows the guy that knows the guy, and I want to just like push them out on stage, like, go, just like do your thing, and hopefully we get a couple eyes on you and someone loves you and they spread the good word about your passion and your talents. But yeah, no, it's never really been my aspiration to be center stage. I just want to be someone who can support other people, and even with my hobbies, drawing and things like that. I just want to make I want to do fan art for people that they like, and maybe they can use it to promote their stuff, stuff like that. Um, yeah, and no, I really appreciate that you you feel that I'm being genuine, because I really am. And actually, the poetry theme of the poetry discussion stream that I had today was gratitude, And that was something that I mentioned, is that like, when was the last time someone just looked you in the eye and was very present with you and told you that they appreciated what you do and what you make? And how powerful would it be if someone just did that for you? So if you're struggling as a content creator, a creative person, whatever, what, just one person telling you, I liked that stream, that was a good clip, that was a great picture, and you saying that, anything like that, and really meaning it, which I always do. Um, that's something that I think a lot of people get far too little of, and if I can offer that to people, I feel like I'm winning. Uh, I made it. If I make people's day
You
like that,
you make it vicariously through other people making it.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And nothing wrong with that. Well, that pretty much puts a pin. I'll go ahead and scratch that one off, because my next question, or the one I skipped, was what motivated you? Okay, well, we pretty much figured that one out. Awesome, great.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I was. Sorry, but to get a little more into what motivated me is the this feeling of I love these things. I love this poetry, this philosophy, this art. I love it so much. Um, but I'm so scared to really to sincerely share myself with other people. So I don't really know. I have a bunch of friends, but do they really like me, and like the deepest parts of me, like that I'm scared to show, right? And so that one of my biggest motivations, and why the poetry and the art appreciation are so particularly important to me, is because that is me being vulnerable and creating a space free from hopefully free from irony, where people can come and be, I guess, expressive and emotionally vulnerable, and talk about things that deeply and truly matter, without worrying about being mocked, or called slurs or whatever.
Right, right. A very noble pursuit. I have a fan question / a viewer question. I don't know if you are still watching the stream, but Nue wants to know,
Anyway, I
why
know.
are your streams so early? I don't.
Um,
I guess just answer that however you will. I mean, obviously, your borders and barriers are your own, but if you want to share, like, explain in any way.
I'm totally happy to. Totally happy to. There are a few reasons. One, I think I'm a fan first. I'm a viewer first, and a VTuber second. I guess a PNG tuber second. So a lot of the people that I want to watch, they stream just after I end my streams, or they start their streams around like during my streams, and then when I end, I can go watch them. I have a lot of people that I admire in the wider community, and if I stream early, I can go watch them. Go watch them when they're live, which is around usually more peak hours for a lot of the people that I enjoy. And secondly, some of the connections that I've made, the really nice, like satisfying connections that I've made with people, happen to be on European time. So if I stream very early for me, and for unfortunately a lot of my friends, I still am able to stream at a time that is convenient for some of the people that have been extremely supportive of me. Um, as I was in my people who showed up to my very first stream and said, "Hey, I like the idea of what you're doing, and I want to be here for it." And so there are a few reasons I stream early. And then lastly, I don't live alone here under my fig tree, and I don't do well with noise complaints from other people when I'm trying to stream. So
Yeah.
there's that practical consideration as well.
I know that feeling. I'm living in the demon tenements, and I mean, I gotta say, it was only through the help of the special substances that I kind of said, screw the screw the dark neighbors of this underworld apartment I live in, and sent it on my karaoke. But yeah,
Right.
I know the struggle. You gotta be.
Oh, the singing, like trying to practice singing. Oh my God, when you're living in the demon tenements, or living with a bunch of other rabbits. Oh my God, practicing singing is
It's
is
not
so
even
hard.
it's not even that, like, for me it's not even like a matter of like shame or anything. It's just I don't want them to be annoyed by me.
Oh no, literally, like I mean, I guess I don't really mind annoying people, I can be a little obnoxious, and I don't mind if other people are obnoxious. Kind of goes both ways. But yeah, I don't want people complaining to my landlord, basically making my life harder than it has to be. And in the meantime, in the meantime, there's other things I can do that are not so, um, I guess, annoying, bothersome for other people.
Of course, of course. Well, uh, as always, it seems that you perfectly segued to the next question, which was going to be, were you
Nice.
a viewer? That is, were you a regular viewer of VTubing content before you began streaming? In this case, you began streaming a month ago, but I'd say like long range, like a year or 2 years. Like, when did you start being into VTubers as a thing? Is there a specific reason or something?
I guess VTubers have been on my radar since before Halloween. Before that, um, I I'm not someone that can really enjoy content if I don't understand language, so I didn't watch a ton of um, the the JP VTubers, the early ones before Ian debuted. But he's an eye, classic uh, VTuber. Big fan of Max Headroom, VTuber. Uh, and but before I started, I guess, PNG tubing, yeah, I was a pretty avid watcher. Usually the um, some of the corpos, mostly mid to large indies, I guess. And the more I've watched, the more I guess the lower the viewer counts that I'm interested in. I love watching the creators that are, you know, double digits, or not breaking double digits, or just people that I haven't heard of. If I see them doing something that I find interesting, I want to watch them. So I guess I'm more a viewer now than I ever was, even though I've started streaming myself.
I've definitely felt that a lot myself, where once you get on the other side of the fence, suddenly you have that much more empathy for the people who are they're just playing their game and just basically muttering to themselves for a couple hours straight, and it's just like, just somebody, anybody,
Yeah.
just suggest that hey, shoot that barrel. Just someone participate.
Right. Yeah. That's and the participation is a reason that because the kind of I guess the kind of streams and the kind of content that's important to me right now is these poetry and art appreciation is something that I could do as I guess a VTuber in the class quote unquote classical sense, right? Where like I could just make the video and upload it to YouTube, but every stream that I've had, there has been someone in my chat that said something, suggested something, or made an observation that took me in a direction that I would not have gone by myself, and I love that and I appreciate it so much. And so, you're right in that I have so much empathy now. I love to show up to like smaller creators, and sometimes they have fairly high view counts, but just the chat is not so active, very like passive, and I just love to talk to them and ask how they're doing and what they're working on, if anything, and all that.
Well, keeping on the subject of the VTuber world at large. All right, I'm going to hit you with the heavy one. Straight off the bat. Who's your Oshi?
Who's my Oshi? That is a big word. That's a word that means.
All
Damn,
right.
that's almost like asking. That's like
If it would make you more
it's a heavy word,
comfortable,
but go ahead.
if it make you more comfortable, you can just say like, someone that's in your top 5 if you can't narrow it down to one particular person.
Yeah. So I can say a couple people that if they're live, I always want to catch them. They're just like small, I guess, 1-2 view indies. So yeah, and with these people, I don't really have time to watch the mid to large size or the corpos or anything, but I'll always watch tune into Purple Lavendel if she's streaming some art or some Lego building. Denpa Fish is just I love her craft streams. Anything she's doing is usually gonna be a good time. Really really fun, really funny. Who else? There's a Save Him. I don't really talk in Save Him's chat much, but I always try to catch them if they're live. I lurk a lot. And honestly, if you go into any given art stream, that has 20 viewers or less, there's a pretty high chance I'm gonna pop up there. If anything, to just drop a Lago blankie and lurk for a couple hours. Really, yeah. So Oshi, I don't want to be a dirty Oshi hen, you know what I mean? And I get so passionate about people. But I could say, someone's my Oshi or not, but I'm saving it, because God forbid I be known as a dirty Oshi hen.
Hey, I mean, fair enough. That's I was honestly expecting at least one corpo, but there's nothing wrong with not appreciating corpos. Like, it's different. Different people have different tastes, so it's definitely.
I mean, there are corpos that I like, but I mean, call me parasocial Andy, but if I'm one person in a sea of 5,000 people watching this, there's like I don't really feel a connection to to the streamer, and honestly, I think a lot of them do like a lot of gaming content, which it's not that I don't watch gaming streams, but it's not the stuff that I'm most interested in. It's not the stuff that I love to watch.
Well, you are just psychic, aren't you? What is your favorite kind of streamer? The classic video game streamer, artists, musicians, or singers, chatters and zatsus. You basically already answered it. That was going to be the next question. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, but I can, just be specific, right? The streams that I love to watch. I love anyone who's making something, doing something creative. Anyone, participating in the act of creation, whether it's whether they
Hold on,
are.
we're getting a raid from Alto.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Alto,
Alto.
welcome in. The Mahjonging raid.
Mahjong.
I'm not going to read that, but welcome in. Thank you for stopping by. We're about halfway through the interview, but we are currently having a discussion with Lagomofu on various streaming things. So welcome in. Appreciate you stopping by. And let's go ahead and continue. So we left off with you like artistry. Okay, so basically streamers who are more creators of artistic work, or I guess, because if correct me if I'm wrong, you'd be fine with someone like watching someone like, well, yourself, like that is to say someone who's like discussing things like intellectually. That would also be something up your alley.
Yeah, if I don't sound pretentious by agreeing with you, then yeah, that's like spot on. Like just someone having an interesting conversation. So then there are in the past, before as they say, I went down the Chuba rabbit hole. Like my favorite streamers were game streamers. They just happen to also be really fun and engaging to watch. People like like Moon, Eris, avoiding the puddle. Those are me. My a couple of probably my top two streamers before I descended into the Chuba rabbit hole. And Cherno TV, being the weeaboo that I am. Love Cherno, but now he's doing streaming as a VTuber as well, so I guess that counts.
More or less.
Yeah. So then they were all gaming streamers, creators. But I think now with how much I want to make stuff, I love showing up for other people who are making stuff and letting them know that their stuff is being seen, appreciated, supporting them, and all that.
Okay. Forgive me if I have. You are a very interesting person, Lago, because I say that because my next two questions are basically predicated on the idea of what do you want to do? Like, okay, here are the next two questions. I'm just going to lay them out. I was going to ask, do you want to someday be in a corporation? And then what would be your ideal one, if so? And then the other one is going to be, well, actually, okay, this one we'll put a pin in, because that one, you could probably make something of it. But do you have any...
I have an answer for that one, yeah.
Okay, so in that case, go for it.
But we can, keep going. Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, I was ready for the next ones, but no, would I want to be in a corpo? If they saw value in what I was doing, 100%. And if like I don't care what kind of
Sky's the
what
limit.
kind of company it is,
If you want to be
honestly.
HoloLive, if you want to be Niji, if you want to be, if you want FaZe to change their rules and you want to be in FaZe Connect, whatever the case may be, what's your idea, your dream place?
I was gonna make a joke that I want to be in Idlean, but no, it's literally I don't have any brand loyalty or anything like that. There's a particular corporation that I associate with success in the VTubing space. What I would take anyone that gives me a bigger platform that allows me to share more of the things that I love with people who might enjoy the things that I love, and anyone who allows me to look out into the audience and see like a one or two of you doing their best, making things, and allows me to pull them up on stage and show them off. That's the reason that I would join any corporation. I mean, not if they're like there are limits, right? But basically, like without consideration to brand or anything like that, anyone who gives me a bigger platform so I can do more of what I love for people who might enjoy it and to share. To uplift, people who are just trying their best to create something.
Fascinating. In a good way, not an ironic, sarcastic way. Well,
you just have something in your tone is just kind of always sarcastic and a little sardonic, but it's a charm point. It's a charm point. Don't worry about it.
what can I say? I don't take life seriously. I take myself even less seriously. So, next question. This one, I like had to like realign myself and okay, he can't answer this because the corporation question I thought was like, oh, most corporations it's either about being a singer or something or being a game streamer. But okay, you handled that one with alacrity and aplomb. So, my next question, if I can go ahead and stop abusing my massive vocabulary. Is there a dream collaboration that you would want to do? Now, I'm saying this is any creator in any space. It doesn't even have to be a VTuber. It can be, if you want to collaborate with Asmongold, if you want to collaborate with PewDiePie. But is there an ideal, content creation with someone, what format would you want and with whom?
I mean, I can ask, do they have to be like someone in the digital space, like a YouTuber, a VTuber, things like that?
Let's say that if you want to, if you want to collaborate with the painters, like I see where you're going, but yeah, okay, yeah, no, that's it. Anyone in the art space, or hell, if you wanna work with what's his face, Scott Manley, the rocket guy, the Scottish rocket guy, whatever, sky's the limit. Who would you want to collaborate in the world? This has become a who's your favorite person in the world kind of question, but.
Yeah. Not only who's my favorite person, but who's my favorite person that I would actually want to spend some time with. Because honestly, a lot of the most brilliant people in the world, I would not want to be in the same room with them. I want to admire them from afar, let them do their thing. But I feel like having a conversation with them or being around them for any amount of time would be either terrifying or awful. So I'm trying to think. No one specific comes to mind. And this is a problem that I have where I just become so enamored. And I do have a little bit of ADHD, so maybe that's part of it. You put someone in front of me who's doing something that seems cool, and they're my favorite person. So right now, I think the person that I would want to collaborate the most with would be Charlie Drex on episode 100 of the Charlie Drexperience.
You've just put a heck of a... Man, I can't even think of a good metaphor for that one. Yeah, okay, well, we have a target goal. If I get to episode 100, God willing, if I'm still doing this, and you're still around, absolutely, well, we will write that down. I will invite you back on to episode 100 of the Charlie Drexperience, and we can touch base, we can figure out where we both stand, see if either of us have made progress towards our goals. I'd look forward to that. Also, that's a cop-out. answer, but whatever.
It was an artful cop out. Give me some, give me some credit.
I mean, I appreciate it. Once again, flattery will get you everywhere. I guess I can't hold your feet to the fire with every question. Okay.
Feel free. I appreciate the warmth. It's just that you might not always get out of it, something more satisfying.
Well, I don't have the cool sound effect, but I just want you to know we're starting the lightning round. I just put the lightning round graphic on the screen. That's right.
Oh, God.
It's the time for the lightning round. I want you to come up with the first answer for all these questions. They're going to be relatively low stakes questions. Well, except one of them is pretty high stakes, so don't screw it up. But anyway, okay. What's your favorite movie, non-animated?
Favorite movie, non-animated, Gangs of New York.
Okay. Cake, cookie, or brownies?
Snickerdoodle cookies or carrot cake.
That's 2 answers, but I'll take it.
Carrot cake. Carrot cake.
Okay. All right, staying on brand. I like it. Who is your favorite musical or... I've got that backwards. What's your favorite music genre?
Favorite music genre, I think it's called post-hardcore.
Like the ED, like happy hardcore, but
no. Well,
you'll have to send me a
Liquid
link to
Drum-
it.
No, Liquid Drum and Bass is awesome, but no, I mean more like stuff like Pierce the Veil and
Oh,
with Sirens and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite fast food?
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be an item, but a location.
Favorite fast food place to go, Taco Bell.
I like it. Favorite color?
It's love-hate. Favorite color, burgundy.
All right.
Believe it or not.
Well, that's once again staying on brand. And finally, don't screw this up. Pineapple on pizza, based or cringe?
So cringe that it's based.
That's a weird answer, but I'll take it. All right, lightning round over. Thank you for your participation.
I like people who are kind of messed up and really off the wall and really own it. That's like my favorite type of person. And so someone who eats pineapple on pizza and is super proud of it, doesn't really care. They don't do it to be a contrarian, but they just do it and they like it. That's why it's so cringe it's based.
Got it. So you're basically I can fix them, the person.
I don't want to fix them. I want to meet them where they are and just have a talk, and go like, damn, you are like, I am envious of, the way that you are so earnestly yourself.
I mean,
that's it. I don't want to fix anyone.
I'd have a talk with them. It probably wouldn't go that smoothly. All right.
No, yeah. Charlie would have a very different kind of talk with him, but yeah.
Okay, so now we can move back onto the subject matter, the let's get to know Lago, and we're going into the anime world now. So kind of VTubing adjacent. What is your favorite anime and or franchise if you can't nail it down to a single anime?
Ping Pong the animation. If you don't think it's good, you're wrong. Ping Pong the animation is my favorite anime, far and away, 100%. Number 1. Number 2, Katana Gatari, and then Power Gap, and then some other ones.
I like the power on that first answer. If you don't like it, it's wrong. I can't argue
100%.
with it. That's hey, you've got the ping pong fire burning in your heart, and you just cannot hold it back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is your favorite genre? You're not an isekai guy, are you?
Damn. I had a phase. Well, but the thing is, I had a phase, an isekai phase, when anime was having, I think it's kind of wave of isekai phases. Just like, oh my god, were you a fan of anime when it was like battle harems? Because I watched a bunch of those too, So, I'm not overall like an isekai fan. Although I'm looking forward to Mushoku Tensei, like the next season coming out. I think that's going to be awesome, just because that series is awesome. But overall, what I kind of do is I look at the currently airing, whatever's currently airing, and then I run around to Discord and Twitter, and I just ask like dozens of people if they're watching anything this season, and whatever gets the most, like whatever the most people say, whose opinions I respect, like people who have taste, right?
Mhm.
I just go and I watch that, you know. So recently I watched like Cyberpunk Edge Runners. A while ago I watched Dorohedoro, and that was awesome. You know, stuff like that.
Okay. So you aren't like, oh, I'm a mecha guy first and foremost. It's pretty much just whatever seems interesting at the moment.
I guess. I mean, Mecha is actually a good one. I've watched a fair bit just because they have my favorite archetype of character a lot, which is like the hot-blooded protagonist. I love watching that. But yeah, no, I'm not really married to any particular genre. There's no genre that I'll watch. I'll watch like a bad show just because it's in that genre, which I think is something people really like. Certain genres, they'll do that, but I don't have that in me.
Okay.
I'm too weak.
That is absolutely a fair stance to have. I think you kind of touched on this, but what is the most recent anime that you finished? Or when I say finished, either finished or you've caught up to like the current season or airing of it.
Okay, so do movies count? Like anime movies?
Yes.
Okay, so like right before the show, I was in CC Hime's. Oh damn, I forgot about her. No, I think put her in the list of people that I want to catch anytime they're live. Who I want to support. I think she's amazing, super creative, doing a lot of really cool stuff. CC Hime. I was in her Discord and we watched the movie Hells. It was in 2008. With her other people in her community. So yeah, like an hour ago, I finished watching Hells, or 2 hours ago, something like that.
Well, that's awfully convenient for being able to have the answer exactly in your head, not having to think, to a week ago you were watching something the last time you actually had the opportunity.
Oh, before that, I finished rewatching. I think I finished rewatching Go Sick, because that used to be my favorite show before Ping Pong the Animation came out. And I was asking for anime recommendations, and someone recommended it, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll rewatch that."
Okay, that's as good a strategy as any, I suppose. So you mentioned Mushoku Tensei, but is there anything else that you're looking forward to that hasn't come out yet?
I don't think. Nothing in particular that I can think of. Probably a bunch of stuff that I'm forgetting about. Because my plan to watch list is pretty long, and I usually look at ask what other people are excited about and put it on my list. But now, other than the next season of Mushoku Tensei, nothing I'm looking forward to in particular right now.
All right, but then to sort of rewind it and go into the past, is there anything that you've heard a lot about but never gotten the chance to watch, or just haven't had the time? Like anything in the past that you want to watch? Maybe finally watch all of Naruto or something.
Unfortunately, I'm enough of an internet boomer and weeb to have watched Naruto while it was airing, and I've never watched Bort. Shippuden was over. I was done. But so I'm not gonna watch Bort. But yeah, unfortunately, Naruto is one that I caught up on. Maybe Bleach actually, because like some people are I've talked to recently have said that like Bleach is actually, there's some really cool stuff in it. I will say something I'm never going to catch up on, never going to watch or read or catch up on is One Piece.
Oh yeah,
I think that's very contentious, but honestly, character designs don't do it for me. And by now, I'm sorry, there's other things I want to do and watch.
I am 100% with you. I'm nothing against the people who are fans of One Piece, but it's just not my aesthetic. It's not my style of show. Like, yes, it's a shonen anime, so it's like, you'd think that if you're like My Hero, if you like Naruto, if you like DBZ, you'll be into it. But for me, it's just, I don't know. I don't have any interest in it. It just puts me off. Not in like a nasty, gross way. I just don't like. I don't like it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Like sometimes you don't have to. I think we're compelled to like have these really good reasons to want to watch something or like something or dislike something. But like, dude, it tastes bad. Like I don't know. What do you want me to say? It tastes bad. I tried to bite once of One Piece, and I gagged and spat it out, and I don't want to do it anymore. I'm sorry.
And with that colorful metaphor, the final question in anime world that I have lined up: if you could be any anime character, Who would it be and why?
If I could be any anime character,
And let's
who would
say
it be and why?
that, you know, if it's like a dangerous world, you know, if you like none of the bad stuff, just the good stuff. So if they have superpowers, you don't have to worry about fighting off the demons that are in that franchise.
Can I be a little morbid?
I'll allow it.
Okay. Yeah, I want to be a little bit morbid because I had an answer ready for you as soon as you asked. And Cyberpunk Edgerunners, David Martinez, if I can make someone's dreams come true at any cost to myself, if I can really something that someone wants with all of their heart, if I could give myself up in order for that person to go to the moon or anything like that, I would do it. So I guess David Martinez, because he did that.
Selflessness, a virtue worthy of praise. Okay.
Or a flaw worthy of mockery, depending on who you're talking to.
Some people just don't have any mind for the romantic. All right, and so we come to the final category of this tonight's series of questions, the video game world. So I know more than I did before that you're not like a super mega ultra gamer, but be that as it may, do you have a favorite franchise? Or a specific game if it was just a one-off?
I think for franchises, by now they've burned all of my goodwill, but I will still say the Elder Scrolls series is my favorite franchise because damn, they had it. And for all their flaws, Oblivion and Skyrim were still like there's no comparable experience in the like any video game that I know of where you can live in that kind of world and play those kinds of roles, because one of my many interests is I'm a fanatic about tabletop role playing games. Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinders, Stars Without Number, GURPS, whatever. I love it all. And I think Morrowind was the closest I got to that level of immersion and the lore of the settings. I think the longer ESO goes on, the less cool it is. But a lot of the really like off the wall stuff that was in those games, Dragon Breaks, Chim, like all that is like, my favorite franchise, far and away. Yeah, as far as my favorite individual games, I guess maybe I'm a bit of a cliche, but it's a lot of people's favorite game. But Final Fantasy Tactics was probably the game that I first game I ever got obsessed with, where like it was all I could think about was what am I gonna do with my party in Final Fantasy Tactics? And oh my God, you can unlock Cloud. And then when I found out you could unlock Cloud in Final Fantasy Tactics, I went and I unlocked him, and I spent the dozens of hours it took to get him to level 100.
I will admit, I have no experience. I've never played Final Fantasy Tactics, so I don't know how remarkable of an achievement that is. But congratulations, question mark?
Only remarkable because if you like, to people who are enthusiasts of like banging their head against brick walls to watch numbers go up, they're gonna fall in love with me knowing that fact.
Well, there you have it, folks. Lago, what was it? Level 100 with Cloud in Final Fantasy Tactics. Bravo, good sir. Well, I bet I can guess, and let me get a chance to guess here. I'm gonna ask you what your favorite genre is. I'm gonna guess it's one of either two things. It's either gonna be turn-based tactics or it's gonna be CRPGs. Did I hit the nail?
My favorite genre?
Yes.
You said exactly what makes the most sense, but actually, my favorite genre is either Metroidvanias or fighting games. Probably fighting games, actually.
Are you any good at them?
In a past life, when I had the time to grind, yeah. Actually, since I've started, I guess streaming and being involved in spaces on Twitter and communities and stuff, I'm kind of feeling the fire again. The only problem is that my computer at this point is so deprecated and old that I can't run Strive. I can barely run Soul Calibur 6. Um, uh, I can't run Street Fighter 6. But I've been feeling the urge to grind out some type Lumina. And if Uniclear, if Under Night In-Birth EX latest CLR ever gets rollback netcode, everything else goes to the sideline because I'm going to be grinding Uniclear for the foreseeable future.
So the passion's
High
there.
ranked
It's
online
just,
in some of the games, but yeah, high ranked in some of the games online, but that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean?
well, in some cases, it's just a matter of, if I may be so bold, it's you were active during a time when like all the pros moved on from it, or like it was an older game, or maybe it was a newer game, so people hadn't really nailed themselves down. Not to discredit any of your skill, but
Now, once stuff gets figured out, that's another problem that I have. That once the games kind of get solved or figured out a little bit, I start to lose interest. Once there's like a right answer for every situation, where it's like I know like I should. There are these like 4 different options that someone could do, but there's like an option select that covers 3 of them. I'm not as interested in the game anymore. If any tech like that gets discovered, I'm kind of out because it takes a lot of the fun out for me when a game is solved. So a lot of these games, I love getting it on the ground floor when stuff is just chaos and creativity. But the longer it goes on, you're definitely right. Like, the better people get at it, more it gets figured out. I'm less interested.
that was definitely one of the things. It's not really comparable of an experience, and mainly I was just, I don't know. I'm an unlock fiend, but basically where I'm going with this is Battlefield 4, I think.
Oh, mm-hmm.
So I was just obsessed with. Are you familiar with how its unlock system works, or have you played it?
No, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
So
My computers haven't been able to run Rudy Tooty Point and Shooty for like 10 years, so I love hearing about it.
fair enough. So its loadout system is basically you have 4 different classes. Every class has a weapon that only they can use. So for the like medic class, it's assault rifles. For the scout class, it's sniper rifles, etc. And then everyone also has secondary weapons that is like a common pool. So I think DMRs, so like semi-auto rifles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's been a minute since I've logged in. Personal defense weapons, so like basically SMGs but slightly stronger. And a couple other things. But basically, there's a handful of ideal weapons, the ones that are,
Right.
the best combination of accuracy, aim down the sight time, damage, whatever. But for me, the way the unlock system works is you have to get, every 10 kills with a weapon, you unlock a new scope for it or a new attachment for it. So in order to unlock all the attachments for a particular weapon, you have to kill 10 people with this weapon, and then 20 people, and then 30 people. So you're forced to use, I say forced, you use these weapons that are quote unquote non-optimal. And, for me, hey, I like it. I just want to, just play around. I'm not tryharding in everything I do, especially in multiplayer. But then you get killed by yet another person with I can't even remember the meta weapons. Someone's got an AK-971. Yep. Go figure. He's using the same gun that literally everybody else is using. And it's like people get hundreds of kills in a single match using one gun. It's just, for me, even though the progress means nothing, the fact that people are willing not to make any progress is itself just, I don't get it. I don't get the point. I need variety in my life.
Yeah, and the progress is like a way of like, it's an incentive that works for you to like makes you want to go out, search out that variety, even if it's like quote unquote suboptimal. Like that's what's fun for you. And being forced into this arena with people who like they don't care if they're level 1 dressed in rags forever if they get to use the best gun. It's like I am in the wrong sandbox.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then, well, the final question, we can kind of modify it. Well, The question is, what's a game or game type that you wish you could get into, but just never seem to have the time for? Now, that's why I put. So we already established that due to PC inefficiencies, it's kind of a performance issue. But my like thought process was like, maybe you really want to get into sandbox games, but my mindset, because I was of course projecting myself onto other people because, you know, I'm terrible at empathizing, but I was just thinking, like, here's a little bit about Charlie. I was just thinking with sandbox games, like I love the idea of like sandbox games where it's like, especially building games, but I just
Right,
don't have
total freedom.
the time to like. It's kind of that same thing with the efficiency or the solving of the game where
Yeah.
you have to, you know, for ideal results, you're going to build this building and then this building and then this building, and you got to build them in this order and in this position. And then for me, the discovery is the magic of it. And once you've like discovered it and all you're doing is scaling up, that's when it stops.
Right.
Basically Minecraft, every time I play Minecraft, as soon as I find my well, before the end. I don't think I've played since the end came out, really. But I was gonna say, basically, as soon as I found Diamond, that was it. Like building had like the whole point was like making progression, getting something new,
Yeah.
getting
You're at the
something
highest tier.
stronger.
You're like, I did it. Yeah. Like okay, bring on the next challenge. Like I need. It's like, is it like you kind of want this like structured challenge? It's like you want to do all the fun stuff, but like give me an incentive, give me a problem to solve, or like let me tick a box that said I did the fun stuff, right? Is it kind of like that? Or if it's like unstructured, you just want to find like do the best thing.
Something like that, because where it goes with that is that I like the idea of spending hours and hours building these beautiful castles and wiring, you know, I'm focused on Minecraft right now because it's the best example, like, you know, wiring together complex mechanisms, but the actual doing of it, both the knowledge needed to actually accomplish it all and the time to actually construct it. It's just, I love the idea of the finished product. I love the idea of a future Charlie having done it, being proud of his work.
Yeah.
But the actual
he's
doing of it,
Mm.
nah.
Gazing upon his works, just like, yeah, I built that, you know. Oh, definitely, I definitely get that. As far as a genre where, you know, that I've always wanted to get into, but for one reason or other haven't been able to. I think actually, I give a couple answers. RTS, my brain is I can't handle all the data. You know, my friends played StarCraft. I could not keep up. StarCraft 2 could not keep up. The most I've been able to do is Dota, League. But yeah, no, actual like non-MOBA RTS games. Love watching. Big fan. A creator that I followed for a long time. Household name among internet people. You know, Day 9. I've kind of followed his journey. So RTS games, and then I think trading card games, because that's strictly a financial barrier to entry. I watch some MTG creators. Now I don't want to give Wizards money because as a company they just suck. Hasbro sucks. But in the past, it was the barrier to entry was just like, I can't afford to play the funnest cards, right? Because they're all rare, mythic rare, whatever, and pauper. You know, the formats that are cheaper, that's still out of my price range. So, yeah, pretty much that. I guess everything. I kind of want to do everything, but RTS and TCG come to mind first.
Those are both fair assessments, and you gave good reasons for them both. Okay, so we finished the list.
It's awesome.
And now, the surprise. You get your chance to ask me anything you want from that list. And here, you know what? This is a brand new development. I'm going to go ahead and copy paste the list to you in Discord. So go ahead. Ask Charlie anything you want to know. And I'm probably going to have to revise this for future episodes, because if people keep asking me like my favorite video game and I keep answering the same thing.
You have to say the same thing over and over.
Like,
yeah.
I really like X3.
Like, oh boy, here
I
it
really
comes.
like X3. I really like X3. I really like X3.
Dude, that's so funny. Well, I know from doing my reps that you're a you sell yourself short. I think you're a more than competent. I think you're a great music producer. I want to see you make more stuff. So who is your favorite music producer? And so that would go under the like music genre or artist. I
Hmm.
feel like I can extend that a little bit. Like, is there a producer you look up to, or like a genre you want to specifically make things in, or singer you want to work with? Any of those questions, because I feel like doing my reps, I feel like that's kind of a passion that's a fire you have in you, and I want to see where that, what else is there.
That's fair. So I can point you directly to an artist. His name is Temanite. His genre, well, he makes a couple different kinds of music, but it's all EDM. And
Yeah.
it's
Can
complextro.
you type that out in
It's
like the chat?
yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We'll put it both in stream chat and in a Discord chat. So
Okay,
Temanite,
cool.
he makes complextro, he makes glitch hop, he makes electro, he makes some house stuff, but it's electro house. But the music he makes, just that flavor in general. So it's gonna be him. It's gonna be Panda Eyes.
Mm.
Kind of Dead Mouse 5, Dead Mouse, but I call him Dead Mouse 5 because it's ironic and funny. But that's sort
It
of
actually is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not that funny, but it is to me. I'm sorry.
it's just I cannot help it. I have to say Dead Mouse 5, even though it's
Yeah,
not
it's the way it
funny.
was so natural for you. It's the way it was so natural and casual. Like, this is just his name.
That's
Like,
it.
that got me.
In Charlie canon, Dead Mouse 5 is Dead Mouse 5. It's simple as.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Simple
so
as.
that's sort of like I don't like super high energy. Like I'll listen to happy hardcore, I'll listen to jump style, I'll listen to
Mhm.
hard style,
Mhm.
but I like
Mm.
high energy, but not that high energy. But like something that's
Mm.
like somewhere in
Okay.
the let's see 90ish to 120 BPM range. So duh duh
Yeah.
duh duh, and then you got like some degree of complexity, but not too much. Again, like I've never been in the noise genres, but yeah. So the reason with Temnite is
Right.
basically he was where I kind of just like imagine myself to be, where he was just kind of a SoundCloud producer who just made whatever
Mhm.
and basically made
Mhm.
the same kind of music I make. And he's, he's kind of rags to riches SoundCloud story of, eventually hit it big. He's actually one of the more successful indie artists that I know of in any field or genre of music production. So, and I say that all, and the kid's like 22 or something. Like, he's really young. So, like, he was already getting big when he was like 16. Yeah. Charlie Kayfabe, slight break. I ain't 20, okay? I'm a little older than that. But
I mean,
it's not from a place of like, oh, these damn kids are so much better
yeah.
than me. But it's just like, if he can do it, what's my excuse?
Yeah. Well, plus, I mean, if you're a demon, like anyone mortal aged is gonna be, baby you. So call whoever you want a kid,
True, true, true.
and like that's fine.
Good
No,
recovery.
that's really cool. That's a really good that's a really good answer. I'm glad that like it's so cool to see that you had one ready. You like let me just show this little light of mine real quick. That you got that you got that fire. But do you have like a particular track that you could throw in like chat or something? Because like what would be like what could I listen to? And like I listen to this Temanite track, and what I hear is like Charlie Drex's aspirations. That's kind of what I'm looking for.
I have a perfect song, and it probably just played through chat or played
Nice.
through my PC speakers. But this song
Huh?
specifically,
Mhm.
and then the reason
All
that
right.
I was mentioning Panda Eyes, they collabed. So both of these
Okay.
songs.
Okay. So yeah. So can I name them off like
Oh yeah, so
quickly?
it's Ascent by Temanite, and it's High Score by Temanite and Panda Eyes.
Awesome. I mean, I love the names. I'm a classic, edgy, chuny enjoyer. So give me a dramatic, like one word name, whether it's for a song or a person or a character. I'm like, tell me more.
Hmm.
Like say less. I want to know more about this. So that's awesome. Like definitely my interest is piqued. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
Come on, you hit me with something else. I know something
I
else.
thought I only got one.
No, heck
I thought I
no.
only got one question.
What? You know what?
Oh,
If you
okay.
want, you can counter interview me. The sky's the limit right now. You know, we're still trying to figure out the Charlie Drexperience. So if you
Oh,
want,
awesome.
but yeah, okay, let's
I'm
call
happy
it
to,
like
but I'll stick to the question list at the very least. Like,
okay.
don't give me too much freedom because I'll test the leash. You know what I mean? And I'll chew through it if I can.
Well,
So we're gonna say
let's stick with the questions then. But
yeah.
but let's just go ahead and say you got about 15 minutes. That'll take us to an hour and a half.
I'm down. Okay, that sounds fair. And honestly, that's like one good question, and then me being interested, which I'm gonna be. So I'll ask you this cheap question. What is there a question that you are like, Lago, please pick this one. Please ask me this from this list. Is there a question that you want to answer, and you're waiting for someone to ask?
I know this is gonna sound like some sort of like cope or anything, but no, I wrote all these questions, and I don't have an answer sheet or anything. I promise you. I wish I'm not gonna share my screen, but like I wrote all these questions knowing that I would answer them and I could answer them, but there's nothing really that I want to be open, but I also don't like. There's nothing other than just. I guess the music question was kind of significant to me, but it's like, like a question like, oh, what's my favorite video game would be just as important for different reasons. So it's no, there's not really any one question where it's going to be, oh man, I sure hope I get my chance to talk about how much I like X.
Oh, okay. No, it sounds good. Yeah, I didn't really have anything like that either, but I was like, just in case, I feel like that's a great place to start. Is like, because some people hold that, they're just waiting for the chance to share this thing, and they're like, someone please ask me. So I wanted to go there first. But in that case, if there's really nothing like that, I'm gonna say instead of like your Oshi or something like that, I'm gonna say, is there a creator in this space, the Chuba space, or just digital creators? We're gonna avoid music producers, but people who maybe are doing something similar to what you aspire to do with the Drexperience or anything like that, and any creators, VTubers in particular, that you look up to, and go to for inspiration, where they drop something and you're like, stream's over, I gotta go watch this, I don't know, Mori premiere that's going on.
The thing is, unfortunately, I have drifted far away, and I kind of am in the same boat as you, perhaps for slightly different reasons, where when I'm not streaming or working on content or working on songs or whatever the case may be, the only people that I really care to watch are other little guys, and especially the ones that I've grown to know personally. Just to sort of be there to back them up and support them. Mume, by the way, is the Oshi.
Mume's the Oshi? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm glad you had that ready. You had that one in your pocket. You're like, this is the heavy hitting question.
I knew it was gonna come up, but yeah,
yeah. If not me, then someone's gonna ask that real soon.
It's either her or Muna, and it's mainly because they're both great singers, but they aren't the V singers of Hololive. For similar reasons, I would say Enna from Niji.
Okay.
But just like if a person, okay, I'm kind of the opposite of you in that if they're a singer and they play lots of video games and stuff when they're not, dropping a hot new single, I'm totally into them. But Mume specifically, because there's this whole backstory where, not backstory, but she's pretty much where I am situationally, lives with neighbors, lives in an apartment, and okay.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm not saying I'm fucking as good as her at singing or anything, but she wants to sing, she wants to be a musical person, and then she just was in a situation where and Muna had it's the same thing. She was singing in her car and stuff, or streaming in her car, but just that sort of the thing of you want to let the creativity out, but the world's just conspiring against you.
Yeah, I mean, you expend so much energy just surviving, That it's like, no matter how much drive you have, the body and the soul, they can only take so much. You know, you can only like determination will only get you so far before you actually get sick, collapse, or whatever. So that makes a lot of sense to me. That you see creators with similar stories, and that kind of that gives you the energy to shuffle your life around enough, like just enough to make room for um for the things that you're really passionate about, in spite of the pressure that the world puts on you to produce, I guess, widgets in exchange for beans that you can use to rent your house, whatever, before I get all pretentious, right?
Sure. No, pretentiousness is fine. I definitely have stilted language myself, and I feel like anyone tuning into a Charlie stream already knows to expect a bunch of random words with relative applicability towards the current context. So,
Yeah. All right. Well, no wonder I feel so at home. That makes a lot of sense to me. But you mentioned you're more these days. Because I also keep an eye on some very large creators. If anyone drops like an Ori song or whatever, I love to watch, love to appreciate, especially the production value that some of these people have access to now. It's so incredible. To see like the 3D lives. Um, I won't say there's not a small part of me that watches those, Connect the World and stuff, and goes like, God, wouldn't it be amazing to perform for so many people and have them enjoy what I'm doing, right?
right.
But you said more now, right? You're keeping an eye on the indie scene, the people who are more aspiring creators. So just like I did, maybe could you drop a couple names
All right.
that you love to catch?
I have to push Abigail Croc. Abby is
Abby's amazing.
charismatic.
Yeah, I feel so bad for forgetting.
Great quality production wise.
Absolutely. No, Abby's fantastic.
Their mic isn't, I'm not trying to be like an elitist about it, but just like,
You're an audio guy. It's okay, man.
it's just like,
That's just what you noticed.
Basically for me, look, hot take, but I think I've said it in public in like our discords and stuff. Abby deserves to make it in whatever they choose to do in terms of like,
100%.
I mean, not that there aren't, everyone, I think 99% of people deserve to make it, but I think Abby is on their way up. Kankuro,
No,
not
but I have. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Kankuro, not because he's chatting, but unironically. No, it's same thing. Just high energy, but without it being annoying. Like it's a character trait,
Yeah.
and it's like
You're present.
just there's some people
Engaged,
that you
active.
can watch them and you can tell that they're really feeling it, or they're really good at feeling it. And so he really gets into the mood. Let's see here. Who else? Lobotomy Bunny, of course.
Oh yeah, no, she's amazing and inclining as far as I can tell. Well deserved. Always has a fantastic atmosphere, and special in what she does. What she does as far as like art and stuff. A lot of people do it, but it really, when you're watching her, it feels like you're in a different kind of place in a good way.
And that's the thing. I don't want to like sit here shouting out like 20 people.
Just going down the list. Yeah.
but-
That was so hard for me to not do that.
I absolutely, for anyone who's watching or anybody looking back on the VOD here, like if I stop by your chat, especially if I say, hey, what's up? Or hey, I'm lurking. I don't just lurk just to pump your numbers. Like I have you on in the background. And so like everyone, especially in our little community that we have, and even if I don't come watch you, I'll at least, if it might be because I'm not into that game, it might be because I'm at demon work, like whatever the case may be. Pretty much all of you guys, I want to support. Maybe not in the empathic manner that Lago is, but in the sense of getting the rising tide that sort of
lifts all boats.
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Lifts
for
all
sure.
boats. I was thinking of the word lifts.
Mm-hmm.
We're all kind of one team of a bunch of two views who are just trying to navigate our way through this crazy world of VTubing and overexposure, and yeah, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, those are great answers. Great people. But I get what you mean when you say, like, for example, you watch them like Abigail or Lobotomy and Concro, and you watch them, and watching them, I am having basically the same experience that I had when I watched someone with 5,000 viewers, uh, except they don't have the numbers. You know what I mean? So you get this sense when you watch certain people, and so I get exactly what you mean when you say someone deserves to make it. It's like deja vu. I'm watching this person, and it feels like exactly the same as when I was watching someone who um, has been rewarded by the ecosystem
Mm-hmm.
to a much greater degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, whatever the case may be, whether it was a lucky viral moment, whether it was nepotism
Right.
from a corpo, whether it was just a corpo
Mm-hmm.
spotting them, whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm. Early adopter.
lightning struck.
Yeah.
I've definitely, I'm right with you on the whole idea of, I've kind of gone. You've missed some of the chats I've had with people at length. Basically, the same subject though. It's like, I'm glad someone else has independently come to the same thought. That basically, I think of it in the music / singing sphere. In the early
Right.
days of YouTube, who was it? Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber got discovered by Usher or whatever, Usher's manager, when 2007, 2008, just covering
Mm-hmm.
songs on YouTube. Why? Because he was an early adopter. He was one of the very
Yep.
few people, and
Mm-hmm.
look, whatever, Justin Biebs. Oh, it's cool to hate him because I'm an edgy guy. Whatever.
Yeah.
The dude can sing. Okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But
By
you know,
now, I do think it's fine that we can all admit that we were teenagers. All the girls thought he was cute. That's why we hated him.
mhm, mhm.
It's fine. You
But
know,
yeah, but
now we
now
admit he's talented. But sorry, go ahead.
now we have 20 Justin Biebers, a bunch of people
Yeah.
with equivalent talent, exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
And by all standards, they should be just as famous, but both because of the sheer number and the fact that that number is exposed. I think more than anything, the exposure,
Mm-hmm.
it both helped people because people who never would have gotten a shot before now get a shot.
Right.
But on the
Mhm.
flip side, everybody's taking their shots, so it's getting kind of crowded at the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what to say? You can't waste a shot. Something like that.
Something like
Um,
that.
Something like that. But no, totally get. I do think personally that in spite of the like saturation, I think that overall it's amazing. The networks, algorithms, platforms, whatever you want to call them, whatever you want to point to. The reality is that so many people are getting a chance that in the past you had a couple kingmakers in a couple industries that could pick out people who got to make it. And even though there's a huge element of luck to it, these days in terms of people creating roughly equivalent content who get picked up by algorithms, or some big streamer happens to click on their stream just at the right time, or whatever. Overall, like so many more people are getting the recognition and rewards that they deserve than I think ever have in the past in the history of whether we're talking about modern media or history, right?
Sure. Well, it's just a similar thing where, look, you go back 30 years into the past, being able to play a show with your band at the local
Yeah.
bar, having 100 people watch you, that was a big deal. But
Oh
just
yeah.
everything's just become so inflated where,
I see.
I'm only getting 10 people who want to watch me at the same time. And it's like, that's 10 people from around the world who, okay, to be
Yeah.
fair, some of them might be alt tabbed and be in a different tab and have your stream muted, but at least a couple of them, those are people from all around the world that have all the things they could be investing your time in. Even if it's only partially paying attention, they just have you on as audio in the background. These people are watching you. It's just, we've become so desensitized, I think, to this whole feeling of, the numbers. I want to say they mean nothing, but it's the person who has 100 views, that they're still affecting 100 people, and maybe the person with 1,000 views is affecting 1,000 people, but it's like the same degree where, like, maybe if those 900 people knew of that person, they'd watch that person instead. They just don't know because of the way the algos work and everything.
Oh, no, I totally I get exactly what you mean. The sense of scale has been lost, I think, a lot I think probably you may have a similar background to me, where I used to be very active in like a local music scene, and going to these like dive bars, these hole in the wall places where, um, you know, it's like, oh, you performed at, Lucky's Music Hut. That's so sick. My band played there last week. Where these shows where if you have 10 people show up one time, that fuels you, right? Or like I was never in one of these bands, but my
Sure.
friends were. I basically grew up in the music scene, right? And so yeah, the idea that 5, 10 people are interested in you, even only like they're curious, like what's this guy doing on stage or whatever. That's so amazing. I think I feel lucky that I'm able to keep that. I'm able to keep those memories close at hand. When I'm, people are talking about numbers, I'm like, that people will think that, oh, I don't matter because only 20 people are watching me or whatever. It's I just totally agree with that. Personally, like if I had one person who was interested in art that I was making, reading poetry that I was writing, that would be enough for me, to do it, and I think we, lose a sense of personal connection is really what it is, right? Knowing that number is a human being who cares about what you're doing. I think if people could hold that, hold on to that feeling, that thought, it would serve as fuel.
Sometimes we kind of touched on this. By the way, hold on. I'll keep pegging that thought. Thanks for the raid, Sin.
Hi, Sin.
Welcome in. Sorry, I don't know how to gracefully introduce raids into the. Anyway,
on episode 100, when we circle back, interrupt me. Tell me to shut up. However you want to do that, so you can thank the raiders. I will find it hilarious.
we'll just like Sin episode 100. Lago's gonna be back. I'm gonna thank you for your raid. Anywho, right. So I already lost the thread. Oh yeah, we
were just talking about the sense of scale and connection and stuff.
We started this episode. It was one of the first things we talked about. The sense of just having somebody have your back.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be super. Yeah, let's go. You're so amazing. But just somebody being like, hey man,
acknowledgement.
Cool. That was cool. That was a cool stream. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was, cute if it's a cute stream or whatever the case may be. Just some feedback beyond, look, I'll be honest, I was the unpopular kid, at least in middle school, and you get the yearbooks of you're a nice person. Which
Hags.
is that's
hags and like fine.
that's code for I don't know you and I don't care to know you.
Right.
I'm just gonna write whatever.
And I don't care to know you. Yeah, oh my god. Yeah.
I don't know you and I don't care to know you.
Great. Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Just some amount of recognition, acknowledgement. Yeah, I think a lot of people, and not only people who are content creators, but that's just a human thing, I feel like everyone can relate to that. It's just a great thing to point out.
I will say, so I'll say one more question, and that's gonna put that. So I think that's 3, maybe it's 4, but we'll say 3 from now on. So if you got 4, cool,
Okay.
you got a bonus that nobody else got. Fucking early adopter bonus. Yay, good job.
Hell yeah,
yay.
let's go.
Anyway, so yeah, last question. One more question for me. Any from the list, and like, if anyone's doing their research, they should be watching the Q&A portion with Charlie, and then like, they can just filter out what questions haven't been asked. But okay, go ahead and shoot. Pick one more.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna ask. Do you want to be in a corporation? And if so, do you have a brand, like a place in mind where, for example, some people want to be in X because of someone they admire, right? Was in that. So is there any place like that? Or of the people, the creators you mentioned that you looked up to, someone that makes you want to be in a corporation like that as well?
Yes. Hollowstar ZN. The reason why is because I will turn them into, I don't want to say a K-pop group, but I will make male performances a thing. And so the reason isn't the reason isn't because I want to, I want to go perform and I want to be the center of attention. I want to be. It's kind of, we don't know if it's necessarily the case. It might not actually, but everyone speculates how Kiru Coco, how she theoretically, we think she was a big reason why Hollow EN even became a thing in the first place. So it's not that I want to, be the big star. I want to be the Coco that motivates Cover to basically shift their paradigm to say, hey, you know what? And I think there's the opportunity for like the BTS, maybe not that much swag, but kind
Definitely
of
that much swag,
BTS-y
100%.
of like, stage performances or, just that sort of, I don't want to say physical enthusiasm, but just being more than talking character on the screen.
Right.
Or occasional
More than
meet
a
and
swaying
greet at a
PNG.
con or something. So
Yeah, I see. Yeah, so for you, it's more about access to the resources and the I guess the means to push what it means to be a VTuber, and specifically, it's about having access to the corporate resources to expand what it is to be a male VTuber, like moving that into what is an available space, like the male idol groups, right?
I would say so because it's not really based on this, but the whole thing last week, the whole VTuber concert, what was the meme? That one VTuber concert be like, and people are hating on this guy. Which, by the way, I went back and listened to his performance, like because he just had the audio only without the crowd. Dude can sing, like just objectively speaking, he's a good singer. But just the fact that it was just treated with such derision and scorn. I mean, granted, the normies found it and they're like, "Oh, this anime stuff is weird. Get these Chinese cartoons off the screen." But even other VTubers being like, "Oh man, I can't." Like, why are VTubers attacking VTubers? Like, come on, have some semblance of self-awareness. But then B, I'm not going so far as say, oh, they're all misanthropes or something, but just this general feeling of, oh, it's just a male, whatever. Males can't be singers, superstars that get people's attention. I can't believe people actually were like that excited about it. And again, it's not about like I necessarily like. I guess I'm kind of cribbing off of your answer sheet in terms of. Absolutely. I do want to be one of those performers, but I don't necessarily want to be the center stage, superstar. I don't want to be the Hoshino Eye of male VTubers, but just being a part of the movement, and especially being one who actually starts moving the needle a little bit. Yeah, it's not like some big moral thing of like, oh, equal rights, but it's just, hey, guys can be great performers. Like, go back and look in the 90s and early 2000s, boy bands were all the rage, and I guess technically they still are with modern K-pop boy bands.
Still are, yeah.
But it's like,
I think it go ahead.
I'm just saying, why can't we do that in the VTuber space? That's my question. I get it. It's going to be a harder sell. The idol industry, the female idol industry is much more firmly established, but I think there's room for it.
I think without question there's room for it. I think it just speaks to the sort of the myopia, the way, like how closed off aspects of I guess the VTuber community, because is it really a community? It's really like a lot of people who loosely join like clusters of networks, really. But it just speaks to how isolated some aspects of that wider community are, that people would even think it's a reasonable thing to say that there can't be male idols, because right next door, dude, there's we're in the VTuber space. Right next door, K-pop. On the other side, J-pop. And go back 10 years, older than some of the people with hot takes on Twitter. You're back in I don't know, Justin, like the NSYNC, the Backstreet Boys, like all those bands that you're mentioning, right? So just the fact that people think this is anything like a reasonable thing to say or an opinion to have is so absurd, right? It's definitely with you on that. And it just needs I think in the West, like someone who really has gets that, get their hands on the steering wheel, and you know, just yank the car on the track that it needs to go.
And I just want to be that person. That is
Yeah,
my
you want to
dream.
be that guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it has been fun. Did you have fun?
I loved it. Yeah, no, this is great. I could go for another, I could go for another 100 minutes or so, but I understand we got a schedule to keep, and etc. But no, it's been a great time. I feel like I got a lot less nervous as it went on. So credit to you as a host. My rabbity little heart did not give out, and that was a genuine danger.
Yes, I
the
managed
beginning of the
not to
stream.
kill my guest. Awesome.
Dude, check that box. Achievement unlocked.
All right, cool. Awesome.
One show down, but
Yeah, then
not one guest.
next week, we'll have to restart the counter. Anywho,
If you- Look forward to it.
all right. Well, I appreciate your time, Lago. Thanks so much for almost, let's say, an hour and a half, because I did my intro spiel, but hour and a half. I told you initially, I was like, oh, 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
30,
and then
45 minutes? Yeah,
it
yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of kept dragging on. But I appreciate you being willing to stick around and kind of endure my loss of purpose. And I wanted to say something fancy there. My lack of direction. There you go. There's the fancy way to say it.
I'm not gonna, I guess, be all saccharine about it, but no, you've been a great host. I know you have this feeling that by being the first guest, I'm taking a chance on you, but by having me on, I appreciate you taking a chance on talking to me, and I hope I've been a good guest, because you've been a beautiful host in both personality and appearance. Lovely
Well,
hair.
I use a lot of product. What can I say?
It shows, but I wouldn't guess that.
It's a special underworld recipe. You wouldn't understand.
I see. I actually wouldn't. I literally would not get it.
All
My
right.
brain is small, smooth, and pink, like an undersized, undercooked chicken breast.
Then with that colorful metaphor to go off of, we're gonna end it here. Once again, Lago, thanks for stopping by. Guys, check out Lago at Lagomofu, twitch.tv/Lagomofu. I'll be dropping links in the Twitter posts. Anything else you want to shout out to anybody who's watching this? Probably more for the VOD than live viewers, but hey, you never know. Just what are you up to? Is there like any major event coming up for you? Is there anybody that like you absolutely like don't want people to miss so and so's birthday stream? Whatever the case.
My mind is blanking because I don't do well with trying to remember that kind of thing on the spot. But I will say to those who are watching this in the distant future, coming back maybe from episode 100, welcome to the past, and it's good to have you. I hope you enjoyed your stay.
Man, it would be. That's just. It's crazy to think about. Obviously, we want to dream the best for ourselves, but just the idea of someone actually coming back that far. Hard tried to get free Robux. You can't do that
You
hard.
tried to oof me?
I don't know if he was
Damn.
oofing me or you. Either way.
Someone was getting oofed.
All right, man. It's been fun. Thanks so much.
Anyway,
again.
no, it's been great. Yeah. No, looking forward to the next time, and looking forward to your future guests, because I'm sure they're all going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And keep doing it, man. I genuinely am really looking forward to more of this, because this is one of my favorite kind of formats where I want to learn more about the people.
And I hope I can provide that experience. I appreciate your support.
Absolutely. All right.
Alrighty, well.
Thanks again.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, folks. So, there you have it. The debut episode of the Charlie Drexperience. Did I lose tracking, really? I lasted that long, and then I lost tracking? Well, you know. Wait, no, I couldn't have lost tracking, because I'm still moving my head. I still have tracking, so why is my head not facing forward when I look forward? Anywho, so yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching this if you watched this. I think we can polish the experience a little bit and get a slightly more coherent experience in the future. Drexperience, if you will. And I don't know. I think there's some legs in this. I think we got room to grow. We got room to run. So I want to thank you all for stopping by to check out Lago, because I know you weren't here for me. You were here to watch the rabbit guy. That's fine. I won't hold it against you. So we're gonna go ahead and awkwardly translate this to a raid. Who is online? Who can I take my wonderful audience over to? You know what? Let's go ahead and go to Savvy Avenue, who's playing Sludge Life, which if I remember correctly, it was like kind of like a Jet Set Radio sort of thing. Maybe. Let me look it up real quick. Harg says, "I know you weren't here for me. Have confidence." Look, it's a bit, Harg. I know that everyone's here for me. Charlie is the best. I am everyone's favorite. I'm like the advice dog, or not advice dog. You know, ba 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 ba, and you have like the captioning. It's like, I'm the best. Everyone likes me. I'm gonna bark at nothing now. Ba 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 ba. The good, yes, the dog of wisdom. That's it. Anywho, yeah. Savvy Avenue with Sludge Life 2. It's the grimiest first-person vandalism sin since the first Sludge Life. That sounds cool, I guess. Anyway, Raiden, Savvy Avenue. If you're a charlatan, a subscribed charlatans, you can drop in some Pog Chucks. Otherwise, it's just Chuck Raid. I need to come up with something more clever. But this is the ideal Chuck Raid. Otherwise, you can just drop Chuck Raid without the Pog Chucks, whatever the case may be. Once again, thanks for stopping by, everybody, and I hope to see you on next week's episode of the Charlie Drexperience. Look forward to seeing who ends up being the guest star when I finally drop the Twitter post about it. Anywho, bye.
You become a prince? I fucking hope not. Oh shit!